Have you ever been able to be invested in a game story where you were able to get immersed in it and take everything in and really just soak in the experience? Then you might identify with what I'm about to talk about. This is about boss music in video games and the experience being amplified by the suspense of the story leading into it. This will have spoilers for the games listed. With that out of the way, let's discuss some boss battle music. Starting with one of my favorites, Dead Rising. You're Frank West, and you're fighting through a mall and helping survivors. It's pretty early on in the story, and you're probably escorting one or two people back to a safe room and thinking, man, this game is great and fun. I hope that there's nothing that will just completely destroy my progress because I haven't saved in a while. Well, you have the scene of the convicts showing up and taking a swing at Frank with a bat. There's three of these guys in what seems to be a Humvee. They're harassing Frank while listening to some sort of hip-hop or something eerie on the radio in the cutscene, only to pull away from Frank and go take a swing at a couple in the park. They kill a guy, and now his girl is panicking and in imminent danger. Frank reacts with a concerned expression, and then this progressive rap song cuts in and sets the mood. It matches the convict's angsty and psychopathic behavior. At this point in the game, you're probably not the most well-equipped for a boss fight because it just comes out of nowhere, and now you have to deal with a boss in a car with some asshole in the back with a mounted gun shooting at you. Gonguru has struck fear into many for this, but it's also a total banger. Now, if you know me, you might know that I'm a bit of a Shin Megami Tensei fan. I think this is a big track for a lot of SMT fans, and it's Battle B2. This track first shows up during the Minotaur fight, so let's set the stage. You're a couple of hours into SMT4 and already going through the brutal start of Naraku, and making your way down into the deeper sections of it after being given orders to do so. You'll be sent to Naraku's fifth sanctum, only to come across a set of doors. Isabeau reads you a message.
Those who serve God Almighty, thou shalt not proceed beyond this door.
And Burroughs tells you that there's a strong demon ahead.
Do you want to go on? Okay, but be careful.
You head in, and your map will say that this is the Hall of the Minotaur. Heading further into the room, you encounter a cutscene that introduces the Minotaur. An intimidating voiced demon who will challenge you to a fight if you wish to proceed.
Over 1,500 years have passed since I formed a pact with my master. You are either truly skilled or fools indeed to ignore his warning.
Once he finishes talking, he engages the battle with you, and Battle B2 starts playing.
Now come, samurai! Put on a good show!
The start of this sounds so sinister. Like, things are no longer a joke. This is for real. I can't find exactly what instruments are used in this, but the drums and what seems to be bells just hit so hard. It creates a kind of hype energy that makes this fight specifically stick out with me over the other boss fights that also use this track. Funny thing about recording my footage for this was I was going through this fight for about 40 minutes with the worst RNG and couldn't beat it in one night, only to start the game the next morning and be able to get it first try. It's that brutal. Speaking of high energy, let's talk about Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. There's a lot of good tracks in this game, but right now we're focusing on Monsoon's track. He's not as big of a driving force as Sam is, but the theme of this fight is interesting to me. Before the start of the fight, Monsoon argues philosophy with Raiden,
arguing philosophy with terrorists.
talking about how everything that Raiden stands for is complete bullshit.
Something that saves lives, a means of justice. Now there's a pretty meme. Exquisite. It spared you the burden of all the lives you've taken. Absolved you of guilt when you enjoyed it.
And no matter how far Raiden tries to remove himself from it, tucking his vengeful axe behind the umbrella of justice, that he is actually doing this because of mimetic behavior.
Free will is a myth. Religion is a joke. It's controlled by something greater. Memes. The DNA of the soul. They shape our world. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. Expose someone to anger long enough, they will learn to hate. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair, all means passed along.
How about full of shit? Is that a meme?
You can't fight nature, Jack. Wind blows, rain falls, and the strong prey upon the weak.
Raiden actually agrees to this, telling Monsoon that he learned early that killing your enemies feels good. That Raiden offers to show Monsoon a demonstration of how he got the nickname of Jack the Ripper.
That nickname you love so much. Wanna know how I got it? Actually, why don't I give you a demonstration? I think it's time for Jack to let her rip!
The ending to that cutscene, and the cut-in with the music on Monsoon's face, looking delighted to see Raiden showing his mimetic nature to him, only reaffirming his stance. It's powerful. The crazy guitar riff as an opener is amazing. It has such high energy that is followed by probably one of the most engaging and high-speed fights in the game. Monsoon is fast, but can also slow down the fight to play at a distance, throwing objects at you to break up some of the high-octane combat while he overwhelms you with. All while that high-energy track is playing in the background so it's not dull or boring. After halfway through his HP bar and throwing magnetic clusters of APCs and helicopters at you, the vocal track starts playing, and now has the energy that fits the fight perfectly.
I have won this! Now what will you do, Jack Ripper? You're dead! Dead on!
I was not around for the original release of DMC5, now only having played the special edition with Virgil. But let's view this as someone who was there for vanilla DMC5. You're playing through the game, having fun as Dante and Nero, getting all the way to the end, listening to The Duel and Devil Trigger, and that's that. Both great songs in their own way, but then DMC5's special edition was released and they added a playable Virgil. So you're like, yeah, let's go through it again. I like Virgil. And you hear Bury the Light in his combat theme, and it gets progressively more hype the higher rank you get, which is super easy to do with Virgil. It's great. You keep playing and you get to mission 19 and face off against Dante this time, but there's no Bury the Light. Okay, so we're doing the duel again? Does that mean that we'll have to fight Nero for mission 20? No, it cuts to another fight with Dante, and it's Bury the Light playing.
All things
Virgil really gets motivated when the song starts playing, and you should as well, because this track is amazing, and if you haven't already heard it or seen it about, just go pick up DMC5 and have fun playing through it. Persona 3. This game is really special. I'd like to set the scene for you. You're a group of students climbing this giant tower, fighting off enemies known as shadows. You keep making progress by climbing this gargantuous tower bit by bit, with even more floors being added on. You end up having to fight a rival group of Persona users named Strega. One of their members ends up killing one of your friends. You climb to a point in the tower and take the killer down, but that's not the main reason you're climbing the tower, rather only one part of it. The real reason you've climbed this tower is to combat death and prevent the fall. You and your friends have grown quite a bit over this journey, and none of you are about to back down once you're staring death in the face.
What people fear most, what they try to ignore, that is what I am.
We know that already.
Yeah, everyone does.
You are what awaits all living things from the moment they are born.
Then you also understand that it's pointless to resist. So why do you? There must be fear in your hearts.
Yeah, of course I'm scared. But it's no use carrying on about it. I want to live.
I'm tired of running. Living means looking death square in the face. So I won't back down. Not even from you.
I will stop you even if it costs me my life.
I see.
Everyone, get ready! Nyx is preparing to attack! I'm sensing shadows approaching from below, too.
Everyone who's not fighting Nyx should try to keep them at bay. This is our last chance. We can't afford to lose.
You exchange words with this nihilistic demon before you're determined to fight for the life you live. This cut in. The intensity of the fight, the emotion behind it, and you're fighting this towering monster that finds your motivation pointless. It really makes you feel like you're against all odds.
I know! I won't miss!
This is for the ones that we've lost along the way. Yo, buddy. Still alive? I'd like to start this off by saying that I was not an Ace Combat fan previously, and Ace Combat Zero, the Balkan War, was the first one I played about a month ago. And now, I'm hooked. Ace Combat Zero's final mission and the story and context and suspense leading into it is really chilling for me. We were introduced to your wingman, Pixie, or Golem 2, at the start of the game and go off on missions with him.
Cypher, I got a feeling you and me are gonna get along just fine.
Having him talk over the radio to you during dogfights and express his own opinion on missions and about the state of the war.
Cypher, you hear that warm welcome? It's the sweet sound of victory. Not bad for a group of misfits, huh? Well done.
He even calls you buddy.
Buddy.
You eventually get another group of aces to fly alongside with one of them named PJ. He likes polo and sport with the horses.
PJ stands for Patrick James. And I like to play polo. You know, the game with the horses. Maybe we should get going now.
He fights to make the world a safer place, which Pixie mocks, finding it hypocritical. Later in the game, you end up burning an entire city, which Pixie strongly dislikes. Due to the nation being Belka, the one that he grew up in, and you're potentially firebombing innocents. This causes Pixie to change his mind about what he's fighting for. Pixie ends up defecting, leaving you without a wingman. From here, PJ is now your wingman. He even shows enthusiasm for flying alongside you.
I'll follow Cypher to the end.
You and PJ storm a dam to prevent the launching of a nuke. You both succeed in doing so, only to get caught off guard on the return flight back to base. PJ is shot down. And Pixie flies in with a laser cannon strapped to the top of his jet. This is a fight of opposing ideologies.
Confirmed reactivation of nuclear silo. COM team, continue your mission. Engage. Stand by. We're analyzing the situation.
When the tunes kick in, I think it brings this fight to a real make-or-break energy.
Shoot down the enemy. I'll run a plane analysis and fill you.
It's got this real dual energy to it, and I think it fits the fight perfectly. You have Pixie firing these big fuck-off missiles at you, making you strafe away, and ends up launching the nuke labeled V2 anyway, controlling it from his jet. So you really have to take down your X-Wing man. I think this is a perfect finale to a game I've played in recently. I'll probably keep in my memory story for years to come. Thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate it very much. If you ended up liking the video, let me know which parts were your favorite, and if you have a personal highlight song from a game that you've played, let me know, and I might just check it out on my own time. Oh, and thanks, friend. I'll see you again.